Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mr. Smith's contribution to non-screen day. And you're watching me on a screen. I know it's ironic, isn't it? It should be non-screen day, but you're watching me. But the whole point of this, and I'll just get this across before any of you start thinking to yourself, it's non-screen day, and I'm watching a screen. What's going on? What is going on? I want to stimulate conversation. Okay, that is my whole point. All right, so if you're watching this and nobody else is in the house, stop. Okay, because it's pointless. It's not really achieving what I want to achieve. Okay, really, this is something that you can do when your mum, your dad are in the house. Dan, oh, hang on a minute. No, they're not allowed in, are they? Unless they're in your bubble. Right, whoever's in your bubble, okay, and they're in the house, get them in. Then you can also go on Zoom and get other people in as well, all right? And they can join in with this. Because what we have got, and I'm so excited about this, is Mr. Smith's film quiz, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some clues to some of my favourite films. Now, you don't have to watch these films, okay? But I just want you to basically, ask people. Because look, I'm not, I'm 46. Okay? And what that means is that I'm an 80s kid. And I'm so happy that I'm an 80s kid. All right. Because as far as I'm concerned, I grew up in a time when we had the best films. Okay. And we didn't have social media. And we didn't have mobile phones as well. We had telephones. Okay. We had that. But in terms of something that you could put in your pocket, that you could look at pictures of fluffy cats and argue with random strangers on. We didn't have that. All right. So I'm actually quite pleased that I didn't have that distraction. Anyway, let's get back to what it is. So I'm going to give you a quiz. All right. I'm going to give you a 3 point question, a 2 point question, and a 1 point question. So one of the first things you've got to do is go and get a pen and a piece of paper, put 3, 2, 1 across the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, sorry, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 down the side. Okay, because these are my favourite films. Now, I'm not saying that you've got to go out and watch these films. I'm not saying that. I'm asking you, can you name the films from the clues that I'm going to give you? All right. So, oh, this is exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. Now, is there anything else? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is actually the second take I've done of this because on the first take I forgot to say this until about halfway through, which probably spoiled things a little bit. And that is the internet is banned. Okay, you can't go on the internet. You have to actually ask somebody. I don't care how you ask them. All right, you can message them, you can give them a video call or anything like that, or you can even like video call them and like play this so that they can actually see me asking the questions. All right, and join in because this is just fun. This is just fun. The quiz is fun. That's what it's supposed to be. Right. Anyway, all right. Now, again, I'm not saying that you've got to watch these videos, but what I'm saying is, or films, sorry. All right. What I'm saying is that we just need to name them. Bit of fun, have the points, and I've got some bonus points at the end as well. All right. So the most points you can get in this is 38. Okay. So let's see what we can do. Now, I've made a few notes here. Always be prepared. All right. Always be prepared. Now, that's enough of me waffling. Let's get into film number one, shall we? So, are we all comfortable? Because that's one of the first things that we need to establish comfort. All right. And are we all within earshot of each other to have that conversation? Okay. So, that's what we need to do. Now, my first film. Okay. Now, some films can stimulate, or some things on the screen, okay, can stimulate a bit of emotion, can't they? I'm I'm not as tough as what you think. Trust me. All right. That thing on ITV where they get Davina McCall and Nikki Campbell to go and speak to people who were like looking for long lost relatives. Oh my god. I can't watch that without going. I took 5 minutes in. I'm a blubbering wreck. Okay. Films can stimulate emotion. I can remember as well when I was younger watching a film called The Colour Purple. And my mother looked across at me and said, "Is he crying?" And I'm like, "No, I'm crying." And I could just remember that on the film there was this big reunion, two people coming together. I can't remember why, but I could just, it was so emotional. I was just ignoring the actual film that was going on. But anyway, this 3 point question of what I'm leading up to is that this, oh God, it doesn't half get you. It really gets you because it's just so unnecessary. It was only a training exercise as well. But my God, it was a real Goose dies. That's your 3 point clue. Goose dies. God, but it was a real choker. It was just so unexpected, so unnecessary. But the actor that played Goose actually went on to star in the series ER for the next 10 years. So I console myself in that, all right? But your 3 point clue for this film is Goose dies. Press pause or something. In my last take, I forgot to leave gaps for people to press pause. So this is the improved version. Press pause. Have a chat. Right, 2 point question. Right, my 2 point question is, or just 2 point clue, sorry. It's not a question, is it? It's a clue, all right? And the clue is beach volleyball, Righteous Brothers. Not the Righteous Brothers playing beach volleyball. That would be quite boring. But there is a very famous beach volleyball scene in this, and there's a very famous song by the Righteous Brothers. When I was a kid, I actually thought that to get a wife, all I had to do was play beach volleyball, go into a bar, sing this song, Bob's your uncle, we're away. That's how easy this film made it out to be. See, 80s films are just so innocent. They make such difficult things seem so easy. And then the 1 point clue. Now, I have actually got a musical interlude for this. So I'll just get, I'm hoping that the mic on my mobile can actually pick this up. I'm pretty sure it can. But anyway, right, this music for 1 point. Let's have a go. And quite frankly, if you were born in the 80s and you don't know the film from that, that's embarrassing. But anyway, that's your 1 point question. The 1 point questions are designed to make, oh, of course it is. Yeah, that's what they're designed for. I don't want anybody to get no points, okay? Nobody to get no points. And, you know, that's why the 1 point questions are quite easy. Right. Film 9. Film 9. I'm going to say 3 words for the 3 point clue. And those 3 words are, Brooks was here. That's what you're thinking, isn't it? Brooks was here. Press pause. Have a chat. 2 points. Right. In this film, basically, this film discovers that Morgan Freeman is very good at doing voiceovers. That's one of the things that we discovered. And Morgan Freeman's voice was therefore used for many advertising campaigns after this film was done, because he does the narrative all the way through the film. And I just can't think of anybody else who could do it. It was brilliant. So Morgan Freeman's voice all the way through the film. And he's in the film as well. Oh, that's 2 clues. Damn. And the 1 point question. Okay, I'm going to basically tell you the film of the story. I'm only doing this in 1 take, by the way, so there will be mistakes. Okay, obviously saying film of the story is a mistake. The story of the film is, there's a bloke called Andy Dufresne, and he's accused of murdering his wife, and he gets sent to jail. Okay, and the film is based in this jail. But during his time in the jail, he makes a lot of friends. Okay, eventually, after having a bit of a tough time, all right, but he makes friends, and then he discovers that the actual person that did murder his wife is in jail as well. So he goes and tells the bloke who runs the jail, what they call the jail the jail warden. That's the one. The jail. He goes and tells the jail warden that somebody else has confessed to this murder, and the jail warden says, "Well, you're not going." And he said, "How can you be so toos?" And he said, "Toos," and he slams him in to solitary confinement for a month. God, it's a bit harsh, but anyway. Andy Dufresne is now, the reason why he didn't let him go is because Andy Dufresne is now in the jail, and he's doing all the tax returns for all the people that work in the jail. He's doing the tax returns for the person that runs the jail. But you see, the problem is that the person that runs the jail is corrupt, and he knows that Dufresne knows that he's a little bit dodgy, so he doesn't let him out. Well, Dufresne's not having this, okay, and he escapes. All right, and after he escapes, he then engineers a situation where the people who were a bit corrupt get found out. If you like a revenge movie, okay, or if you like a movie where the bad uns get a comeuppance, this is a good one. Okay, so that's your 1 point question. Smithy explaining a film. Right, film 8. Okay, now, this film is my favourite Christmas movie. It's based at Christmas, so as far as I'm concerned, that qualifies it as a Christmas movie, okay? And my 3-point clue is this, okay? The main character of the film is not very happy at the start of it because he goes into the place where his wife works to look for her, but finds out that she's taken on, hasn't taken on the married name. She's still known by her maiden name. And when he eventually does find her, he says, "Well, what's all that about? You know, we got married and all that stuff, and you're still using your maiden name." And she said, "Hey, it's a Japanese tradition." All right, so what film did that happen in? It happens at the start. Not very Christmassy, but it does happen at the start. Okay? Press pause. I hope you've had a chat about that. Right, my 2-point question is this. Okay, now I'm going to say a line. Okay, and the line is, "Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs." You're probably thinking, what sort of a clue is that? But if I explain it like this, okay? Right, this is still the 2-point clue, by the way. If I explain it like this, you're in an air vent and you've got a cigarette lighter and you've just turned the cigarette lighter on and you're having a look around and you say, "Come out to the coast. We'll get together, have a few laughs." Like that. Just like that. That's how we said it. Press pause. Now, my next clue, okay? White vest. Sales of white vests after this film must have gone absolutely sky high, okay? You can even get them a bit dirty. Bare feet, okay? That's another clue. Bare feet. Hans Gruber, right, one of the best villains ever played in any movie, is in this movie, all right? Alfonso the limo driver, all right? And also the main character says his wife's name like this, "Holly!" like that, all right? That's how he does it. Okay, so that is film 8. You should have got that. All right. As I said, the 1-point questions are that, you know, so that you can actually get points. Surely somebody in your family knows. John McClane is another clue. He's not an American politician. He's an American cop from New York. Okay. Right. Film 7. Okay. Now my 3-point clue for film 7 is the director for this film was a guy called James Cameron, all right? And this film made him noticed, made him famous. He went on to direct The Abyss, which is another cracking film, Avatar. I haven't seen that, actually. I have to put it on my list. I haven't seen Avatar. Titanic, seen that, all right? That's a good film as well. He directed all of these, but the movie that he directed that really made him famous was this one, all right? So what movie was it? That's my 3-point question to ask other people. I'm not expecting you to know this. This is an 80s film. You weren't around in the 80s. I'm expecting you to ask people who were, to communicate with them. That's the whole point, okay, of the non-screen day. My 2-point clue, okay. If you're still discussing the 3-point, press pause now. But my 2-point clue is this, okay. A father or a dad gets sent back in time by his son, who is actually older than him. Probably thinking to you, what? Hey, that's impossible. Oh, but it happened in this film. So a father gets sent back in time by his son, who is actually older than him. That's my 2-point. Okay. And my 1-point question. I've always wanted to do this. Okay. And I've now got an opportunity to do it. But as I said, the 1-point questions are so that you actually get it. I'm expecting you to get it from the 1-point question. So I shall remove these. And I can just see now people who know me going, oh my God, he's going to do it. Oh my God, he's going to. I'll be back. I should really have bulked myself up a little bit when I said that. But anyway, there we go. All right, that's the 1-point clue. Please say you know it. Right, where are we? Just consult my notes. I think we're at film 6, aren't we? Ah, yes, right. Film 6. Clue for 3 points is this one, okay? About 300 people try to get Jim Lovell home safely. Press pause. Right, my 2-point question, or my 2-point clue is this. Now, I can't remember exactly what they had to do this with, but if you consider this situation, so a funnel, a book cover, a plastic tube, and a bit of gaffer tape, and we've got to make a carbon dioxide filter. Well, we're going to have to give that a go, or we're dead. What film did that happen in? What film did they have to make their own carbon dioxide filter? And then, right, sorry, press pause, have a chat. And my 1-point question, or my 1-point clue. I keep saying question, okay? I keep saying question, I'd say clue. My 1-point clue is this. It's a line, okay? And it's not a line from a film, it's a line from history, okay? He actually said this. Jim Lovell actually said this. I didn't just dramatise it for Hollywood or anything like that. And it's a cracking line, okay? Houston, we have a problem. Now, what film was that line mentioned in? It's not what film is that line from, because it's from history, okay? But what film is that line mentioned in? Houston, we have a problem. They stirred the oxygen tanks. One of them blew up, made the spaceship a little bit limp, and tell you what, they were lucky. I'll tell you that now. A lot of things went their way, put it that way. Okay, right. Now, film 5. Okay, now this is one of those films that as a kid you remember and you really enjoy it. But then you go and you say to other people, have you seen this film? And they're like, no, never heard of it. But you're like, you must have heard of it. No, never heard of it. And this is the film. So what I'm going to do, okay, because this, again, you've got to be talking to people about this. Or you might have seen it. I don't know. I know, actually, a couple of years ago, it came out free with the Daily Mail. Okay. So that is the only time I've actually bought the Daily Mail. But because this film was with it, and it's still in my cupboard. All right. That's how much I love this film. But I'm going to say, for the 3-point question, okay, or the 3-point clue. I've done it again. I said question, it's a clue, all right? There's this kid, okay? And in 1979, he goes out with his brother into a ravine. I think they've got to take something somewhere to a local neighbour or something like that. Okay, so he goes out. And then when he's in the ravine, he falls over and his brother runs off. And then he gets up then and then goes back up to the top of the ravine. I can't remember why he fell over. I think he tripped over or something. And he goes there and the door's shut. So he knocks on the door and he said, Mum, it's 1986. It's 1986. And he's still the same age. And of course, I open the door. Hello, who are you? And then the kid says, well, you're not my mum. He said, no, I'm not. I'm a bloke for a start. But where's my mum? Said the kids. And eventually, they're like, oh, calm down, lad. Because he's only like a kid. So obviously, they're not just going to shut the door in his face. If you've got a kid saying this, you obviously help them. All right. And they end up taking him to the local police station. And then the police can't work it out either. So for some, you must think I haven't seen this film for a few years, but I can remember I really liked it. And I will watch it again. I'll find that DVD and I'll watch it again. But basically, he ends up with his head being attached to a computer. He's got like this big hairnet thing over it, all like plugged in and everything like that. And they say to him, right, where you been? And then the computer starts explaining where he's been and starts like putting maps of all these star charts up. And everybody's like, whoa, what's in this kid's head? Okay, what's he been doing? Okay, what? Have you ever seen this before? No, I've never seen this before. And they're like, wow. Okay. And then they said, well, hang on a minute. We better ask him some more questions. What'd you go in? They said. And then he draws this spaceship. Oh, well, and they eventually they work out, right, this is a national security incident. So they lock him up. Okay. And Sarah Jessica Parker is the girl that's sort of like looking after him. And of course, she befriends him and she smuggles him out. And then his head starts making contact with this spaceship, and the spaceship starts making contact with it. And the spaceship comes down to this kid, okay? And this kid's there. Luckily, he's in a hangar that can fit the spaceship in. And then so the spaceship comes down, and the scientists get hold of it and tie it down and stuff and try and knock into it, but they can't. And the only thing that can get into it is his kid, who stands in front of it, and then these stairs come down, all the gloopy stuff. Special effects are amazing. And he walks up, and he basically says and then the spaceship says, you are this thing. If I said what it was, you'd know what the film is. And he says, oh, right, okay. And he says, well, why am I in 1986? And the spaceship that can talk said to him, well, we brought you back at the wrong time. And he said, yeah, too right you did. Like that. He's not happy. He's well vexed. And anyway, so they then said, right, he says, take me back to 1979. And the spaceship said, oh, that's going to be difficult. You know, it might kill you. And the kid said, I don't care. I want to go back. 1979. Because he said, my little brother's now older than me. That's no good. Because he has met his mum and, I forgot to say that, but he's met his mum and dad from the future who are now just totally flummoxed. They just can't work this out at all. Okay? Freak them out. Anyway, so shortened it. I've spent quite a long time explaining it, haven't I? But anyway, so he then goes on a dangerous space journey. Okay, there's lots of flashing lights, and he's going like that and everything, and it is a bit dangerous. But anyway, he's all right. He gets there, and he gets back to 1979. Goes and knocks on the door, and his mum's there from 1979. So everything's great. Okay, what film is that? So I had to really dig in my head then. All right, but play that to somebody. They might have seen it. I don't know, but we'll see, shall we? Right. Film 4. Film 4. Clue number 3. Clue number 3 is this. The Zoltar machine was not plugged in. Wow. What's that? What film is that from? The Zoltar machine was not plugged in. Clue number 2. It's a bit like Freaky Friday. I think that's what they got the idea of anyway. I think Freaky Friday was before this film, so yeah. It's like a male version of Freaky Friday. And no Googling what Freaky Friday is. Okay. And my 1 point thing is basically, in the end, the lad gets his wish and becomes an adult. It is, I think, my favourite Tom Hanks movie. Okay? Yeah, I think it just about beats Forrest Gump. It's my favourite Tom Hanks movie, this one. Okay? Come on. Dancing on a big piano. Very famous scene. Right. Okay. Film 3. All right, film 3. The main character of this film, okay, nicked plutonium off Libyan terrorists. Or I'm saying the main character, one of the main characters of this film nicked plutonium off Libyan terrorists. That's my 3-point clue. My 2-point clue is this. Don't need money. Don't need fame. Don't need a credit card to ride this train. What's that from? What's that from? Am I saying lines from a song? Am I saying lines from the film? Who knows? That would be too much of a clue, but that's my 2-point clue. Okay, and then my 1-point clue is McFly. The McFly family. To me, the McFly family are this film. They are not a band. I know there's a band called McFly. Maybe it's been, I think actually, yeah, they probably were. They probably were named after the family in this film. You've also got Biff, okay, the bully, and you've also got the Enchantment Under the Sea dance as well. I'm hoping that you can get it from this. Okay? Right. Now, my next film, number 2. Again, this is one of those films that is a little bit out there, okay? But I love this film, okay? Absolutely love it. And whenever I hear this piece of music, I just smile because it reminds me of the film. I'm going to play it now. I was actually playing the start of the film then, and it's got like Paramount Pictures Presents and stuff like that. So it is the start of the film, okay? But what film? Okay. Now, press pause. My 2-point question is this, okay? The film main character is, or one of the main characters is a dude called Billy Ray Valentine. Okay, and he's got a vase, or he calls it a vase. He says, this vase, this is Billy Ray Valentine's vase, and he starts chucking it about and he drops it. What film is that from? Okay. And then my 1-point one is, I'm going to explain the film again. Now, these 2 old men called the Dukes, okay, and they have a bet with themselves, or one between the other, that they own this like investment firm, and they basically say that somebody with no experience whatsoever can do this job. One of them says yes, one of them says no. Okay, so they have the bet and everything, and then they choose one of their employees and plant drugs on him, so he gets fired and his life becomes miserable, and then they get somebody off the street and he then is replacing this person. Okay, but then the poor person then finds out what the Dukes are doing, okay, and then teams up with the other person that's been made poor, and they then scheme to get the Dukes back. Okay, it's a great revenge movie done in a comedy way. So yeah, as I said, we're naming the films. Okay, we're naming the films. I'm not asking you to watch them. I'm asking you to name them. So have an ask around. Now, does anybody know what this film is? All right. And then finally, okay, film number 1. And if I'm asked what is my favourite film, I'll always answer this one. Okay, now, let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. My 3-point clue is this. This film must have been the biggest release of the year 1980. Probably, Smithy, that's 41 years ago. What are you going on about? I know, but you'd have heard of this film, I can tell you now. All right, so biggest film release of 1980. Okay. My 2-point clue is this one. Okay. And the 2-point clue is this, is that this film just blew my mind. I'd heard rumours that this was going to happen in the film, but as a 6-year-old, I just thought, no, it's not true. No, it's not happening. You know, a 6-year-old in Essex just thinking, nope, not happening. That horrible bloke over there, not over there. Okay, there's nobody else in the room at the moment, but you know, just imagine that I'm looking at the cinema screen. That horrible bloke there cannot be his father. Cannot. No way. Okay, he's too horrible and he's too nice. No, don't get it. Okay, not happening. Nope. That's my 2-point clue. Okay, 2-point clue. And then my 1-point clue is this. At the time, okay, and for many years after, I did describe this film as the greatest sequel ever made. Okay, the greatest sort of like number 2 film. But now I reluctantly accept that it is the 5th film in a series of 9. Okay, all right, so that's my 1-point clue for this. Now, I can't remember. All right, I think actually I've gone through this without making that many mistakes. All right, but I can't remember if I said at the start that I was going to do a bonus point question or not, but I am going to. Okay, and this is it. All right, now the bonus question, it's worth 8 marks. Did I say it was out of 38? Because at the moment you must have been right. 10 questions up to 30. Okay, bonus now 38. Right. Okay, my bonus is this. I want Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I want the characters that Rocky fought and the names of the people that played them. Okay, so that's 8. All right, so the character that he fought and the name of the people that played them. Okay, that's that. All right, so that is Smithy's interactive film quiz. Now, have a look around, have a chat, maybe rewind. Okay, go to places that if you're a little bit unsure. All right, and I'm now going to say this is Smithy out, but I'm not going to leave you in suspense because I'm going to do another video with all the answers on. All right, okay. This, for the time being, is Smithy out. Bye-bye.